Well, hello everyone. Big Red's back, and today we're making some Dr. Pepper jalapeno beef jerky. And this is a recipe I got off of Hay Grill Hay, and it looked freaking delicious. So I'm like, let's give this a try. So I got everything together. I'm gonna throw up my Traeger. I got a couple smoke tubes that I'm gonna use, and yeah, let's see how this recipe goes. This one's from my buddy Eric. I love this recipe. Started out with 2 cups of jalapenos. So I went and got some fresh jalapenos and diced or sliced these things up. Man, springtime, get some fresh veggies out there, love it. So I grabbed a couple jalapenos, sliced them up, and I have a little bowl off the side. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it has a bowl with a little baggie in it. So just kind of getting everything in there and getting it ready for this super awesome sauce that I'm going to make, or marinade, for my Dr. Pepper jalapeno beef jerky. So as far as ingredients go, I got 2 tablespoons of kosher salt. And I started initially with just using 1. I was gonna make a half a batch, but then I'm like, forget it. I'm making the whole thing. So I went later and added it, but it was 2 tablespoons of kosher salt, 2 tablespoons of coarse black pepper, and I like that big old 16 mesh. Tablespoon of your garlic, granulated garlic, and then a tablespoon also of onion powder. So it's starting out with some pretty dang good ingredients, but saw this recipe on Hay Grill Hay and definitely got to give this thing a shot. But all right, moving on, throw in a couple cups of Dr. Pepper. Got to have our sweet for our this side of it. So 2 cups, let the fizz go down, and then pop it back up. Man, I got a little scared from that explosion there, but hey, we're making this thing work. So into the bag it goes. Got 1 more cup. There it is. And I just kind of mix it all in that wet little baggy area. And I got my meat there, and now, before I add the meat to the marinade, she says to go ahead and reduce it by half. So I threw it on a pot and put it in there. I wanted to show that because when it was pretty liquidy when I started, but when I started cooking it down a little bit, it thickened surprisingly quite a bit, almost to like a gravy. I was like, dang. But reduced that by half. And then go ahead and throw that meat in there. So the meat I got was like a top round. Wasn't anything fancy. I just got it from the store. I even trimmed off. There are little fat areas on the end of it. I know fat doesn't go very well with beef jerky, so I trimmed it off there. So they're pretty lean pieces, and I think that's kind of your best route for beef jerky. But they're all, I mean, maybe a 1/4 inch thick at the thickest. Some of it was kind of uneven, but I just trimmed that off because I want a fairly even beef jerky when I bite into it. But that's it. Got everything in the bag, everything mixed together. Oh, go ahead and let that marinade cool down before you put your meat in it too. You don't want it at that boiling temperature. It'll poach your meat. So keep that together, or keep that temperature down before you bring it all together. And take it on outside your beer fridge, throw it in there. And we're gonna keep that thing out there overnight. Okay, we want to definitely have time to get those flavors mixed in together and kind of all entailed in that meat. So I wanted to get a quick shot of my smoke tubes. So there's 2 smoke tubes, and I just kind of filled them up like 3/4 the way with pellets. And then lit that thing on fire with my weed gun, my propane weed gun. And I just let that thing burn for a couple minutes before getting it into the smoker there. And you can see it in the smoker, and the open end is kind of at the other side where the smoke is coming from, and it'll burn towards me. But man, that's a good way of keeping a lot of smoke in that smoker. Definitely want to inundate this meat with as much smoke as I can. So here's the two smoke tubes in there, and I'm just going to throw as much meat in there as I can. I think I'll be able to get just about all of it in there. Remember, it's about 2 to 3 pounds of meat. I broke it up into 2 baggies when I was preparing it. But once you get it in there, just make sure you open it up. You don't want it flapping on each other. Creating it. It's a thicker piece if you do that, and it won't cook as even. So make sure you spread it out and get it to where it's flat on that grill. But man, let me tell you, this Traeger, I entered a quick rib competition last weekend, and I'm just gonna run my Traeger up there, and threw it in there and smoked up a bunch of ribs in that Traeger. That's all I had was the Traeger. And as soon as I was done, and presented it real nice in the box, and took it in there and had them judge it. And it's kind of funny because the judges are all, "Great smoke ring, excellent smoke flavor," were some of the comments on there. And hey, it was just a Traeger, no smoke tube, but just a Traeger. So I got a good chuckle out of that. But this thing, especially in that low temperature, you throw it on there, it can get some smoke going. And incidentally, smoke it at 160, 165 is what I did. So lower temperature gets the maximum smoke out of that pellet grill, along with those the two smoke tubes. But in case you're wondering, didn't score the best in the rib contest, but man, there were some good ribs, I'm telling you. All right, so time's ticking away. A good 3 to 4 hours is what you're looking for in this meat. You want to be able to pull it off and for it to kind of hold its shape and not bend too much, but you don't want it to be too rough and crusty, and you just kind of want that perfect texture. So that's what I like, anyways. So here's kind of after the time has elapsed, and I actually threw a couple eggs in there too, those little white things in there, and I was getting ready to smoke up some eggs to make some deviled eggs for the Sunday. So sorry about the eggs in there, but yeah, look at that jerky, man. You pulling that thing off, and it looks great, man. Great texture. It looks fantastic. That's exactly what I wanted. So it's nice and warm. I'm just going to pull all this beef jerky off, throw it in a bag. I'll keep the bag on the counter for, I think Susie said to do it for like an hour, let it cool down, and it almost steams a little bit and softens it up a little bit. So it wasn't too over soft, that's for sure. It was like a perfect consistency. It really was. So it's a money shot right there. Well, here we go, folks. Just finished up. Brought everything inside. Let it cool down in the bag, a plastic baggie, for a little bit. Look at that. Just made a mountain of beef jerky. Holy cow, the color is wonderful. You can see the seeds from the jalapenos in there. Even some of the jalapenos are dried on there, but it just really made a ton of food. And oh my goodness. If you look at it, I just grabbed one here, but you can see it's got some good color to it. There's a little bit of shine on it. You can see some seeds that have baked into it. Super smoky smell. It's really incredible. It really is. Let's take a bite of this. Let's see how it is. Nice tug. Flavor's good. Got some heat to it. Got some sweet to it. And it kind of, all those seasoning, it really brings out the Worcestershire, and it's just a really nice meld. It really is. And the perfect amount of tug on it too. I had it in the smoker for 3 hours, maybe just a hair over 3 hours, at 160, kind of varied between 160 and 165. I put my 2 smoke tubes in there, and just had incredible smoke that whole time except for the last 15 minutes. They finally burnt out, but it was really incredible. I remember running to the store, come back to seeing all the smoke coming out of the side of the house. You know, it was just kind of cool to see. But jalapeno, Dr. Pepper, you know, beef jerky. Well done, Susie. Well done. Great recipe. Try this on your own if you get a chance. I got, like I said, I got it from Hey Girl Hey, but man, you could make this on your own, and it is fantastic. It really is. So give it a try. You won't be disappointed. So let me try this again here. Very good. My son's gonna love this too.